What's up everybody, and welcome back to Above a 3. My name is Zach and I'm very proud to introduce our first ever Above a 3 Threedom of Speech. Threedom of Speech is a brand new segment that we do. It's kind of like a soapbox, so to speak. Essentially, if one of us here at Above a 3 has something that we want to talk about, want to share with you, this segment is dedicated to that. Basically, like for example, if we want to talk about a movie or an awesome game or CD or something that we really are a big fan of, or an awesome music video, awesome funny video, what have you, we come on here, we talk about it, we tell you go check this out, it's awesome and we hope you love it. Now for this very first edition of Threedom of Speech, I am going to talk about something very near and dear to me. Obviously, if you've been following Above a 3, or if you just know me as a person, you know I am a huge fan of heavy metal music. I know, I'm weird, I don't care, I like it, who cares? And since I'm such a big fan of metal, I'm not shy about telling people, I naturally have encountered some resistance, so to speak. Not necessarily oh fuck you, you're stupid, you're lame, it's the devil's music, but more so just kind of stuff like, why do you like that? It isn't music, you can't even dance to it, you don't know what you're saying, etc. And I try not to take offense to it, but I do just a little bit. I mean, music is music, you like what you like. Ultimately, it's probably the most subjective thing on earth, and just enjoy what you do. But anyway, moral of the story, I love heavy metal music. And I am here today to share that a bit with you. I'm not going to try and convince you that metal is the greatest thing ever or you need to get into it. I'm just here to introduce you a bit and open up your mind a bit to metal. It's like, obviously most of you probably don't like it, you don't understand much about it, and that's why I'm here. I want to introduce some of it to you, and I want to open your eyes just a bit. I just said that, but who cares? Anyway, I am here to talk about 6 heavy metal albums that I would personally recommend to people that don't enjoy metal. Or I would recommend to people kind of trying to look into metal, try to get their feet wet, learn a bit more, and maybe even grow to really like it someday. For the sake of keeping this video entertaining and original, I'm gonna avoid talking about all those classic heavy metal bands like Metallica, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Megadeth. You've heard of all these bands before, and whether you realize it or not, you probably have already heard some of their music before, except maybe Megadeth. And if you haven't, you should probably get on that. I'm also going to avoid talking about the really kind of mainstream radio metal bands out there, like Korn, Disturbed, Slipknot, Bullet for My Valentine, Five Finger Death Punch. These bands are already out there, and obviously they haven't converted you yet. And I personally I don't consider them very good metal, and I don't consider them a good representation of the genre, and most of them outside of a few songs are hot garbage, and obviously that's my opinion, especially Five Finger Death Punch. I will never miss an opportunity to talk about how much I don't like Five Finger Death Punch. Seriously, fuck that band. Obviously, I just trashed a few bands that you might potentially like. I'm sorry about that. You have to understand, Threedom of Speech is all about expressing my own personal opinion. I'm not trying to push it as fact. I'm not trying to belittle anything that you like on purpose. I'm just expressing my opinion. We all have them. You're watching this video probably sitting here thinking oh fuck this guy, he likes metal, that stuff sucks, it's all angry and all that stuff. Anyway, that's your opinion, and I'm here to try to open up your mind a little bit and to try to I'm not even sure what I want to say. I'm here to talk about metal and tell you metal bands and CDs that I think you should check out if you're interested in the genre, or if you just want to give it a bit more of a chance and learn a bit more about something you don't fully understand. Here we go. Okay, the first album I have for you here today is probably the least actual metal album I'm going to talk about here today, but it's kind of a mixture of heavy metal, metalcore, and hard rock. Basically, it's a very radio-friendly metal band. They're very recent. The album in question is the self-titled debut album by a band called Woven War that came out last year, actually right about a year ago. Woven War is a band that, it's a very recent band, and I think they're a very, very good band. And as I already mentioned, they are very radio-friendly. Their music is definitely hard enough to be considered metal, yet it's not hard enough to scare children or anything or freak you out. You know, there's not a whole lot of screaming in it. There's maybe like 3 or 4 actual screams on the entire album. Most of it is just very upbeat, pleasant, clean vocals with terrific guitar work, nice drumming. It's just a very good kind of mellow introduction to the world of more hard music and hardcore music and metal. And lyrically, like I said, it's not very angry at all. Lyrically, it's beautiful. It's all about like trying to find yourself as people and recovering from hardship and learning from the past so you can forge ahead to the future. Woven War's debut album is a terrific album. Some of the more hardcore metalheads out there may look at that and be like, that's crap, why would you like that? It's like Nickelback. First off, no it's not. I would never recommend anything that sounds anything close to Nickelback. So yes, there we go. Album number 1, Woven War, self-titled. Check it out. And it's a very, very, like I said, it's kind of, I would almost push it as kind of like a baby's first metal album, because it's, like I said, it represents a lot of it represents a lot of what's good about the genre, and it doesn't represent a lot of the typical stereotypes of the genre. You know, like I said, not a lot of screaming, not a lot of intensity. It's not scary, not anti-Jesus, not anti-anything. It's just uplifting, fun, catchy, awesome hard rock metal music, and you should go check it out right now. And I just want to say before we get going, I am not a musician, nor am I a singer. I've never really studied music. I'm just coming at you from the viewpoint of a fan. You know, I'm someone who loves music. I love heavy metal music, and so I'm gonna talk about it. I can't really talk about it in like technical terms from like a professional, really knowledgeable perspective. All I know is like, I know what I like, and I understand. I feel like it's like I know what I like, and I'm just gonna talk about the music that I enjoy and try to explain why you should check it out and why I think it's good for people who are interested in metal. Like I said, are interested in metal, etc. Alright, the second album I have for you here today is Deftones. White Pony came out in the year 2000. Seriously, this album is so good. That band is awesome. Deftones, you probably heard of them. They've gotten some pretty widespread media attention, critical acclaim. They're what I would describe as kind of an alternative metal band. You know, like I said, they're a lot like Woven War in the fact that they're not terribly traditional. They're not like heavy metal. There's not a whole lot of screaming. They are very unique, very original, and White Pony was, I don't want to say it was the album that put them on the map, but it was the album that made people like step back and go, whoa, these guys are legit. And like I said, it's kind of like an alternative metal band. There's even a little bit of kind of like pop and hip hop influence, like in the way it's sung, kind of like new metal bands like Linkin Park and Limp Bizkit, except they don't suck. Pony, it just pulls no punches. From the second you plug in it gets going, it's raging. The vocals, their lead vocalist is one of the best I've ever encountered. He has a unique voice, a great voice. He's a wonderful songwriter. And the Deftones are a lot like Woven War, the way that they're very accessible to fans of non-metal music. In fact, I know a lot of people that don't like metal that are at least cool with the Deftones. All right, moving on. Number 3. Now, this is a band, like seriously, if I'm trying to think of bands to introduce to people that either don't like metal or don't know anything about metal or like have all these preconceived stereotypes and notions about it, this is like the first band I always think of to show them, because it pretty much throws every idea, they just wads it up in a paper ball, you know, like oh, these are your ideas and stereotypes about metal. Well, fuck that shit, I'm gonna throw that out the window. All right, this band is called Nightwish, and they are pretty much the titans of a subgenre of metal called symphonic metal. Symphonic metal combines all the best parts of heavy metal, like a heaviness, intensity, awesome drums, heavy riffs, fantastic guitars, solos, with aspects of like a symphony orchestra. There's lots of kind of opera-like vocals, and like there's violins and trumpets, and it just combines so well with traditional heavy metal music to create kind of this rock and roll heavy metal opera sound. It is incredible. And like I said, Nightwish is kind of like, they're not like the godfathers of the genre, they're not like the founders, but they are kind of like the face of the genre. You know, they're probably the most known, I apologize, they are probably the most well-known symphonic metal band, and they're just synonymous with it. You know how you have like certain genres like You have Slayer, synonymous with thrash metal. You have Cannibal Corpse, synonymous with death metal. You know what I mean? You have Nightwish, and they just go with symphonic metal, like that. The title of the album that you need to check out is Wishmaster. It came out in the year 2000, and it's just awesome. Like, I don't know what else to say about Nightwish. They are awesome. They will blow away your expectations of what metal is and what metal can be. It's beautiful, it's awe-inspiring, it gives you chills, fantastic musicianship, fantastic vocals. Like, seriously, just check it out. Wishmaster is probably their best album. I don't know if I can definitively say that. I like a lot of their work, but once you listen to Wishmaster, and you should, and after that, I know you're gonna love it, go check out their albums Oceanborn, Once, and Dark Passion Play. Now, word of warning, Dark Passion Play is gonna sound a little different because that is their new vocalist, Annette. Other thing before that was with their old vocalist, Tara, I think is how you pronounce it. Tara, it's like T-A-R-J-A. Anyway, Nightwish, fantastic band. Go check out Wishmaster, and then check out all the rest of their material. It's awesome. If you like orchestra music, marching band type music, rock and roll, pretty much just, if you like good music, you should at least check out Nightwish. There's a reason why they are one of Europe's biggest acts in music, not just metal. Okay, moving on to number 4. We have an album by a band that I'm a big fan of. The band is called Gwar, and the album is called America Must Be Destroyed. And now, before the FBI and CIA come knocking on my doorstep, that actually is the name of the album. And I'm recommending it to you because people just need to understand that metal has a sense of humor. You know what I mean? Like you see all these band names like Infant Annihilator and stuff like that, and you hear all these scary song titles, band names, scary vocals. You have to understand that metal has a sense of humor. You know, these guys are very much performers, and the vast majority of them aren't psychopaths, they aren't cannibals, they aren't Satan worshippers. No matter how their music looks, no matter how their image makes them appear, they're just performers. They're like painters or sculptors, you know. This is just their craft, and they're having fun, they're doing what they enjoy, and a lot of people enjoy it in return. I mean, like, for a great example, like Cannibal Corpse has a song called Entrails Ripped from a Virgin's Cunt. Like, that name alone is absurd and over the top. It's like watching a crappy B horror movie like Attack of the Saber-Tooth or Bigfoot on Sci-Fi Channel. It's intentionally crazy. You know, it's called shock rock. You know what I mean? Guys like Alice Cooper were huge on this. Basically, all they did, they're performers. Like, it's intentionally over the top. It's not meant to be taken seriously. You know, they're just having fun, making the music they like, and like I said, a lot of people enjoy it. And Gwar is like this perfect example of the sense of humor that metal has, especially America Must Be Destroyed. A little bit of backstory. Okay, so the backstory of America Must Be Destroyed, you see, Gwar is a satire band. Basically, they perform all of their music in character, and all the band members dress up in these crazy over-the-top foam outfits, dressed up like as crazy space aliens and warriors and monsters and stuff like that. And they always perform and do interviews and write all their music in character. Basically, they're this group of aliens that live in Antarctica, and they're out to conquer mankind and like destroy anyone. And America Must Be Destroyed is in reference to a live show that they did where the lead singer, whose character's name was Odorous Urungus, played by Dave Brokey, rest in peace. Anyway, Odorous performs with this giant phallic-like thing. It's like an eel with big googly eyes and stuff like that. He calls the cuttlefish a Cthulhu. And they were out performing at a concert. I can't remember the full story, actually. I don't know if they were like outside the concert hall or something, but basically, they almost got arrested. Moral of the story, like, some people took great offense to the cuttlefish of Cthulhu, that giant penis thing that he has hanging off himself at all times, whether he's in interviews or whether he's performing on stage. Basically, they got in trouble for it. You know, that was in the early 90s and late 80s when censorship in the United States specifically really started to take off, and that was when everybody started getting offended by everything. Anyway, America Must Be Destroyed was inspired by that event. Basically, the opening song of the album is called Ham on a Bone, and it is literally him talking about his penis and how people don't like it and they try to take it from it. In fact, in the story of America Must Be Destroyed, the cuttlefish is actually stolen and Guar wants to get it back. And so if you follow the album along, like the second track, you know, they're preparing their assault on America. They're like taking a dinosaur egg that they found in Antarctica, injecting that sucker with some crack cocaine, and then they hatch a giant dinosaur monster that they unleash upon the world named Gorgor, and that is what track number 3 is about. And then next thing you know, they spend the rest of the album waging war with like this government organization called the Morality Squad. You know, like all these people are like, Guar, you're disgusting, and we're gonna destroy you because you're corrupting our youth and stuff like that. Seriously, the album's awesome, guys. Like, and the music is actually really good too. It's more than just funny. Like, it's incredibly creative and it really does rock. I think they have an excellent guitarist. The guitarist's name is Balsac, the Jaws of Death. He like has like a giant bear trap for a face. It's pretty awesome. But anyway, I highly recommend this album. It's a good album in general, and it's a great example of how metal absolutely has a sense of humor. You know, like these guys are having fun. They're just performers out to put together a fun time and a fun show, fun music for anyone that would enjoy it. All right, moving on to number 5. We have another very recent album here, and this is called Supreme Chaos by the band War of Ages. And the reason I'm going with Supreme Chaos and the reason I'm going with War of Ages is because it's a very recent album and it's a tremendous example of, actually I should say, it's a tremendous counter to the stereotype that metal is all really, really negative. It's dark, it encourages hatred, it's anti-religion and stuff like that. War of Ages couldn't be further from that. War of Ages is absolutely an example of a Christian metal band with very positive, uplifting lyrics. And I will go with Supreme Chaos because it has an awesome lead single that released, like I said, about a year ago called From Ashes. It's a song basically about somebody who's lost and needs help, and depending on how you interpret it, they either find God, they find Jesus, or they just find a friend who helps them out of their darkness and is always there for them. And that's basically what all of War Ages music is about, and there's a lot of bands out there like that. And I'm also recommending them because they're hard, they're definitely metal, but they are not that hard, you know what I mean? Like, they're screaming, but it isn't very intense. None of it's very intense. It's actually very melodic and very beautiful at times. And so if you're one of those people who still thinks that all heavy metal fans and musicians are devil worshippers, go check out Supreme Chaos by War of Ages, really anything like that. You could also go check out bands like Demon Hunter and stuff like that, and then we'll also be happy to prove you wrong. Okay, finally, number 6. Okay, for number 6, I have an album here that is one of my absolute personal favorites of all time. You know, there aren't a lot of albums out there from any genre that I would consider perfect. And when I say perfect, I don't necessarily mean flawless. When I say perfect, I think of it as giving my absolute highest recommendation, like I think it's a classic and I think it's an essential. I have the album Blackwater Park by the band Opeth. Oh man, I just don't know what to say about this album. Anyway, seriously guys, Blackwater Park is a masterpiece. It is an example of a style of metal called progressive metal, and basically that means it doesn't follow traditional song structure. It's very long form. It doesn't go like, you know, verse, chorus, bridge, final chorus. You know what I mean? Like it just kind of keeps going. It tells a story, and there are choruses and stuff like that. And there are bridges, but it's more about creating a mood and atmosphere and just kind of a continuous flow. Hence progressive. Hence the term progressive. But man, Blackwater Park is amazing, and like it's like listening to poetry. You know, it just creates this magical feeling. It just takes you to another world. The music is beautiful. The lyrics are extraordinary. The musicianship is out of this world. The songwriting and just musicianship is just fantastic, and you can just put this album on and just lose yourself and immerse yourself in this incredible world that these guys have crafted through their music. And seriously guys, I'm just gonna straight up tell you, man, if you don't like death metal or think in a million years that you will never like death metal, check this album out. Trust me, like, this isn't the album that made me a death metal fan, but it definitely helped. Like, this is the type of album, this is the type of album that will make death metal fans out of people who only listen to like indie rock. Like, it's just seriously that good. You just have to go in with an open mind and just let it consume you, honestly. And I don't mean that in a bad way either. You know, there's screaming, definitely death growls, but there's incredibly beautiful vocals. It's honestly kind of like seeing a play. It's kind of like seeing an opera or a musical, the way the music is done and performed. It's just so good, guys. It's so good. Okay, guys, to briefly recap, we have Self-Titled by Woven War. We have White Pony by the Deftones. We have Wishmaster by Nightwish. We have America Must Be Destroyed by War, Supreme Chaos by War of Ages, and Opeth's Blackwater Park. One of the great albums of all time. Like, these are all great albums. You can find them all on iTunes. You might even be able to find a few of them in record or CD stores if they actually exist where you are. But I highly recommend all of them. I implore you to go in with an open mind, actually check them out, at least a few songs. You would have noticed throughout the video, I will have linked various music videos from these albums, so you can like immediately check them out and go directly to it, get a taste of it. Just give it a chance, and I'm not telling you have to like it. You know, I'm not even saying there's a good chance you'll like it. It's just, these are just a series of albums that I would personally recommend to people who want to get into metal, or people who would like to just understand more about metal, or just people who are closed-minded fucks who won't give it a chance. Alright, I guess that about wraps it up for our first ever Threedom of Speech. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all enjoyed the music, and I know I definitely enjoy it all. Again, my name is Zach, and you can find me on Twitter at, I'm just gonna post like a little link here, you know what I mean, just check it out. I'll post some links to all of our social media. You know, you can find us on youtube.com/above3, 3 spelled out, Facebook, Twitter, etc. There'll be links throughout the video. You've seen them. There'll be links after the video, probably links in the description. I don't know, I might do that, I don't know. But anyway, I hope you had a great time. I know I did. Please tune in to all of our great videos. We have awesome podcasts. We have video game Let's Plays coming up, other fun stuff like people throwing water on each other. It's going to be great. Anyway, until next time, I'm Zach. Remember, keep it above a 3.